Okay, so this is just a continuation of your first session. For brain health, I know this looks really ridiculous, but we're gonna put it over the head like this. I usually leave the cord in the front. Some people put it in the back so they can, do this and watch television or whatever while they're doing it. But it's better if you, for me anyway, if you just let it come down over the nose because it opens my sinuses while it's also on each hemisphere of the brain. It's penetrating the blood-brain barrier and it's getting your hemispheres of the brain to communicate. You also want to make sure that a coil comes down over the back of that big ridge in your head, which is your occipital ridge. So you definitely want to make sure you have a coil. You can feel them through your iPad, or your pad, not your iPad, your Beamer pad, on your forehead and on the back of your head. So it looks kind of like the white line on a skunk, and this is for concentration and focus. So this is on program 1 on your head for the first week, no plus ever on the head. Now this is also very attractive. We call this the Amish look. If you move it a little bit forward, it's going to get the temples for eyesight as well as for hearing. So this is great for things like, I'm not supposed to say any diseases, but we'll just say ringing in the ears, or balance issues or vertigo issues. So this is for balance, this is for concentration and focus, but if you move it a little bit forward and get it on your temples, it's also helping eyesight as well. If you have a headache, it's good to put it on your forehead and then the back of your occipital ridge or neck, and then I'll usually lean back and I usually just close my eyes and I have it all around my head this way, and I like to use a little bit of peppermint oil on either temple and over my eyebrow, and that also is very good for headaches. If you're into essential oils, you don't have to do that. Okay, so that's for headaches. Okay, so I want to mention, because when my mother was 97 and we were getting started, I thought, oh my gosh, if I can do this, why don't I just do this? It gets hearing, it gets ears, it gets everything all at once, so I'll just wrap it around and that'll do everything all at once. For somebody that has memory issues, it can actually make them worse. So if you're giving somebody sessions for memory issues or brain fog, you definitely want to just do this. And if you have other issues for eyes or sinuses or hearing or ears, make sure that those other applications are at least 2 hours apart. So you don't want to do this and then immediately following do this and then do this. It's too much activation on the brain, and it's very confusing for somebody that's already got memory issues. So, and I discovered that, I also heard about it, but I discovered it on my mother because she had gotten so much better, and then all of a sudden she became functional, which she didn't know me at first, or where she was. And then I started doing this different thing and, doing it all over, and she started to get worse. So just trust me, for concentration and focus, or if you have memory issues, also for my own, it reversed mine, and I was so bad I had to take notes to walk down the hall. I couldn't remember why I just entered the next room. I was under so much stress as a caretaker, I couldn't remember. So that's the brain protocol, and Beamer doesn't really like the word protocol because we're not really supposed to be addressing different illnesses or diseases. The purpose of Beamer is to treat the body wholly, and when you're feeding it wholly properly with oxygen, micronutrients, and waste removal, it's a miraculous organ, and it will heal itself, and it will naturally unwind illnesses and diseases within the body just from proper nutrient and oxygen and waste removal. So on your gut, you're just going to leave it here on your stomach. And I want to say that the pad goes in both directions. It's penetrating in both directions. In Europe, They hang them from the ceiling. This is what I've heard. People walk in and stand on both sides. So it doesn't matter unless, like me, you have white leather. I have the suede side up. The suede side down will actually discolor the white. So I always have the suede side up, but it doesn't matter which sides you have up. Also on the pad, it's penetrating from both sides. So it's getting your gut if you put your hands over it. It's also getting my forearms as well as my hands. Here, you want to make sure, you'll see this big Beamer band here. There's also on this side, there's the Beamer name or logo on this side. You just want to make sure that your head is above this band. So from here up, there are no coils. That's purposefully so that it protects the head. So that's when you do this, you're actually doing your own sessions on the head specifically, but the head is protected from the regular session or systemic session. So the only other thing I want to show you is when I lift my legs on this, it's nice to have, because you can put your mat on a bed, you can put it on a recliner. It's nice to have your legs come up so you can lean back. This will go all the way back. You can put it on the floor. You can put it on a sofa. You can put it anywhere and take your first session, but you'll notice that my legs are shoulder width apart. And if I'm doing this on my gut, here I go. I'm doing my hands while I'm doing my gut. And let's see if there's anything else I need to tell you about placement. I think that's good. So I do want to say one thing, because I have this Beamer downstairs. I have another Beamer. I know I'm decadent, but I have another Beamer on my bed. And the great thing about the Beamer on your bed, if there's only one person using it, if there's two people, you can get a second mat to put on the other person's bed and put the B-box between you two if you're using it to sleep or if you've got your own programs or things that you're working on. But it's just me. So I, in the morning, if I know I've got thumb issues or wrist issues or my back's hurting or my neck's hurting or I've got to do something extra, I'm going to get up, early enough so that I can get it all done because I know I'm going to need more than 8 minutes in the morning. So if I've got to do my back and I've got to do my shoulder and my thumbs, and I might get up an hour earlier to get it all done. So I'm just mentioning that to you because some people are like, oh my God, I'm not going to do that. That's fine. You don't have to do that. All you really have to do, and what Beamer suggests, is systemic gut health, brain health once a day. So in the morning, you do your mat. In the morning, 8 minutes, say your gut 8 minutes, and in the evening, you're going to do your mat. And then your brain, say in the evening before you go to bed, never the plus on the head once again. And so that's 8 minutes in the morning, 8 minutes in the evening. You've just done this 24-hour period, systemic twice, gut once, head once. But I do my head twice and I do my gut twice. So I actually do 16 minutes in the morning, 16 minutes in the evening. But that's just me. You're not required to do that. And you learn what's best for you and how it works. So there you go, a little bit on placement. Thank you.